in those cases, the natural teeth help to support them. This connection is a compromised treatment method. Right? So this is, I think, the most common indication for anatomical reasons. But of course, in Singapore too, because it's all mostly private payment. So therefore, the economic reasons is another one of them probably. All right? But the German probably didn't want to go there. I'm going to show you a couple of cases. In 2002, this patient came in, and some periodontally involved tooth, and one tooth that is also forgotten what was, anyway, need to be extracted. Patient has also economic concerns. So we make the tooth connected to implant prosthesis for her, one in the upper, one in the lower. And in 2005, you see an X-ray follow-up. It's quite stable. The bone level here, you show a little bit of bone loss. So in 2009, she was reviewed again. It looks very stable. On X-ray taken, you can see some bone changes taking place. There's a sinus augmentation here. Okay? Now, and this is in the mandibles. It's quite stable. So it doesn't mean that if you connect it somewhere, there will be some bone loss or around the implant or the natural tooth. In this case, you can see the bone loss around the implant here, but the bridge is still stable. But in the mandible, somehow it's very stable. So what are the factors that eventually will affect this? We don't know. And in 2012, you can see here too, that bone loss, but it is serviceable. So this is surviving. Okay, this is also surviving, but it is more successful. Right? So it's a matter of how many years it does take for it to fail, right? And whether it's worthwhile for the patient to have gone through that. And you can see that now we don't attach it to the natural tooth. We just have a cantilever there. So this is a case that came in. She has a full upper arch bridge, and she's one of the executive flying around. But she complained that the entire bridge dropped, always at the wrong time. When she's trying to scold people during a meeting, the bridge dropped. Right? Yeah. It's not jaw drop. So when we look at it, we don't understand why, because it's 4 units supporting the entire upper arch, and she's one of the executive, very stressed type. Okay? So no wonder. And what do we do? Yeah, she cannot afford to take a bridge out or do anything. She cannot have any disruption because she's so busy. So what we do, we kept the front 6 units. We put an extra implant here and have an implant connected bridge for her, right? With the just seat there. Okay, and this is how the X-ray looked like in 2002, and we managed to keep her smile all the time without disrupting it, and then everything is going on stealthily. Right? In 2009, come back, okay, stable. There's some bit of bone loss around the implants. Okay, this one is contributed by one of our colleagues, Dr. Lee, and this patient has fractured root and also fractured porcelain, and he doesn't want to do. I think it's not contributed. There's a lot of resorption on this part here. He doesn't want to go through a lot of procedures, so he opted for implant connected tooth bridge. Right here, that's how before and after, and this is how it looks. Okay. And there's no long-term follow-up for this patient, although the patient corresponded by email and said that everything has been well, and X-rays taken show that everything is also stable. Right? But this is another case here, contributed by Dr. Caroline Goh, and Dr. Khan is doing the orthodontics for her at this time. So we put in the implants for her, and we have an implant connected bridge, also because of the same reason that I've given before. And this is about more than 10 years ago. All right. Now, what happened is that Dr. Goh observed that the bridge seemed to be doing well, right? But the bridge is supported by natural teeth seemed to be shifting. And then she blamed it onto the implant. Well, I'm not sure. So anyway, I bring it up to you. And she said that this natural tooth here is shifting because of the implant, right? And if you look at it, this is what happened. You can see here, okay, the whole bridge is coming more buccally. And we observe this actually more very too with the long-term study where a single tooth is next to an implant tooth, okay? The natural tooth, they tend to drift a little bit buccally or sometimes becomes intruded too, okay, even though they are not connected. So then another case here, these are the ones that I have not originally indicated, but somehow have chosen to do so later on, because this patient has been wearing a denture. She wants to get rid of the dentures of her, and you see that there's a very severe wear already on the denture. So because of the over-eruption on the upper, so we did a screw retain bridge for her, and see over-eruption has been, we tried to correct it, and everything went well, okay, except one day he came and see that it's loose. Right? You take an X-ray. Why is it loose? Because it's broken. Implant here. All right. And when we look out, we found that actually it's not just broken. One piece of the shoulder part actually broke off. Right. Yeah. So in this case, we indicated she just opted for implant supported because the tooth is here already crowned anyway. Right. So with that, we do not need to remove the implant. We just did a new prosthesis for her. Okay, so these one are the indication that I found after years of practice and meeting with the complications. Similar case in this one here, okay, implant. It's not a control study. It just happened that we do the different implants for him, and two. Okay, here these two implant supported crowns and a 3/4 crown here. So it's broken, and then we have to put in a bridge. You see that here? It's broken. And the patient has just had a heart attack earlier, and he's on some warfarin, a stroke or something, and he got on warfarin, so he didn't want to do anything else. Okay? We will do the most conservative work for him. So I found the new, indication for implant-supported connection to natural tooth would be when the implants fracture this way, right? So these are two cases that I was too shy to show previously because these were done more than 20, 25 years ago. At the time, we just, without going through any guideline, practice guideline or ethical review or anything, we just put in, what I thought was correct at the time. And we put in one single implant here in between a long span. Okay, here. These are the Corvan implant. Many of you might have heard about it, but never seen one before. Yeah. Okay, these are when the patient came in 1983. These are, at the time, our panoramic machine had to be taken in two-part X-ray, okay, and then joined together. All right, you know how backward it was. But it was the most advanced at the time. Okay. So in 2007, you see here review. This is the connection. All right. So it is many years, 1980s to 7. Okay. The patient came back because of caries happening in all these front teeth. All right. So is it what happened? Why did the caries occur? Is it because of the connection to the implant? But the connection, the connected part of the implant actually remains stable. Okay. We section this bridge here. Only all this part has been repaired, some of them beyond repair. And then we put in some implants and restore with the patient. Please look at here. There's some recession, soft tissue recession, but it is the entire segment of this natural tooth connected to the implant remains intact. Okay, see here, we did this part, but this part remains intact. And this X-ray is showing here. Okay, this part here is the original tooth connected implant bridge. Okay, and this is more than 25 years now.